So today we just kind of did like one of those skull jeweled up looking sugar skull type deals. I bought these stones from Hobby Lobby. They were 50% off. It was a whole box for $8, so it was only $4. It has different colors in it. Real simple. I glued it on with the spirit gum, and just make sure that you have the remover to remove all the glue adhesive off of your face. So basically the only thing that I wish was different about this is I wish that I had some rectangle ones of these so it looked more like a gold tooth. But the gold ones I had were just round. So I kind of colored it in a little bit, or I don't know, whatever. It all can't be perfect. But yeah, so it was just real simple. I kind of just winged it and made it up as I went. So I hope you enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions. So happy Halloween. Bye. Okay, so first I'm gonna prime my face. Any makeup primer will do. I'm using the Silk by SeneGence to prime my face. I'm kind of making this up as I go. I haven't really mapped anything out like I usually do, so I'll probably make some mistakes and cover them up. I'm going to go ahead and start off by using the white face paint by Mehron. It's water activated and it's in a palette. I got it off of Amazon. It's really easy to use. I haven't quite mastered how to make the white completely solid white, but for this look, I didn't really want it to be solid white. I kind of want it to be a little opaque here and there. So that was completely fine. But it actually smells really good. And that was Malachi. It smells like suntan lotion. So so far what I found works best is just going in with a thin layer, letting it dry, and then going back in. The more water you mix in with the paint, the clearer it is, and as it starts to thicken up, the mixture will get a little bit thicker and the color will go on a little bit thicker as well. Okay, so now I'm going in with the same kind of face paint except for in black, and I'm going to start off by mapping out my nose. There's different ways to do the nose, and just kind of chose to do this one. If you look it up online, there's different variations of how to draw in a skull nose. Some of them can be really, really cool looking. This one's pretty basic and pretty easy. So And apparently there's some good music playing in the background, so since I didn't map this out, I didn't have anything to go off of. I was just kind of winging it to where the bones were in my face. I highly suggest having a reference picture as you're drawing this. I definitely made a few mistakes, but nothing a little bit more face paint couldn't cover up. Okay, so my jawline shape has turned into something crazy, but we will just kind of fill it in as we go. I kind of wanted to have the effect as the teeth kind of dispersing into the dark area of the jaw, instead of drawing the teeth all the way out like a lot of makeup has. So I'm definitely trying to think as I paint. You can always see my eyes whenever I'm trying to think. They kind of widen up a little bit. And apparently I bobble my head. So just kind of giving a thin layer of white paint on my lips and in between the jawline and my lips, kind of blend that in a little bit. Almost kind of looking like a panda. That's funny. I'm going to attempt to not make this jawline look so funky, but instead I think I just made it look even funkier. It's one of those, it was definitely one of those face paints that came together in the end, and that's for sure. So now I'm going to go in with a thinner brush with the black face paint and just start drawing on some teeth. I like to draw on the teeth after I start the first one. I like to kind of just start by doing the next one, the bottom part, like that, and then going in on the outside and just connecting it. Instead of trying to draw each tooth completely separate, I like to kind of connect them a little bit first and then draw that inside line. If you've never done teeth before, I highly suggest maybe just do a couple practice ones on your hand. Once you get the shape down, it's a lot easier. But when you're trying to figure it out on your lips, it's a little difficult to do at first. So definitely do a few practice rounds on your hand or whatever and get the feel for it. It's really not as difficult as it looks. You kind of just make them like almost like little Hershey Kisses, just not as fat. So right now I'm currently looking for my Snow Shadow Sense, which is a white shadow sense. And it is a very thick white eyeshadow and it sets pretty well. So it's a cream to powder shadow. It works great for face paint stuff. The idea that I had in the beginning was kind of a black to white to gray skull face. And I wanted the white teeth to kind of like transfer from being outlined in black to being like gradient into the white, and I just wasn't liking it. So here in the future I decided to add some different color. But this is all a very slow thought process in what was going on. It took me a while to figure out the direction I wanted to go. And this is why I normally like to draw out what I want to do, because my ADD goes crazy whenever I'm in the moment. Okay, so we are filling in the teeth a little bit more with some more white to kind of brighten them up a little bit. And then we're going to kind of flick some white areas above to kind of blend it all up a little. I'm still feeling like I look like a skull-faced panda. It's hilarious. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the black spots in between my teeth. Okay, now I'm just taking some matte black shadow and I'm just kind of shading around the lines, the hard lines, and kind of where a contour would be and any shadows naturally would be. Trying to make my jawline a little bit sharper and look more real depth-wise instead of such sharp lines. Shadowing and any sharp lines like that will definitely help it blend out more naturally and look more what's the word? Will look a little bit more lifelike instead of cartoony. Okay, and now I'm finishing up kind of dusting out the outer edges, I'm sorry, of the eyepieces, and then I'm gonna kind of just start smoking it in from the inside out, kind of stopping a little bit more towards the middle, where I'll add in a different color after I do this. Apparently this needed to be done right now. Like I said before, I had no direction. I was just going with it. Okay, and we're still painting the teeth. Kind of going with some more shadow, and then now we're gonna smoke out the eye. We'll get there eventually, folks. Okay, so now I am taking a gorgeous copper color called Adorn from the Anastasia by Beverly Hills new eyeshadow palette Subculture. And this color is amazing. It is so metallic-y, it is so coppery, it is just beautiful. And when I opened my palette, I decided that I was going to accent my face with this. So that was an amazing choice, and it definitely started to come together, and I feel like I look less like a panda now. So, but we're still winging it. I'm still making it up as I go. I kind of love this part because I really messed up on that top right there above my brush, that section. I didn't like that there, and whenever I went in from the bottom on the other side, I realized how much I really didn't like that other side. So I just covered it up. So I feel like just the bottom side brings up the jaw a little bit better, and on the other side, by having that copper on the top side of it too, kind of made my face look short, like the jaw part looks short. I didn't like that. So we're just gonna cover it. Like I said before, totally winging this look. So I'm just kind of covering it with a little bit of paint, and then I go back over it with some shadow. So it's like it would never happened. Oh, this one was a struggle. So kind of equaling out that copper shadow a little bit better. So then I thought I'd add a couple accents and decided that that was a huge accent, which later on was a accident. And then I was like, oh, I'll do some scroll work. This will be cute. And as I was doing it, I realized I did not like that either. I mean, it's a cute thing to do, but it just didn't go with the shadowing and the color scheme. It was too artsy fartsy for this look. So instead I just put some glue on there. And I used the Spirit Glue by Mehron, and I just kind of dabbed it on top of that area. And I got my jewels and I went to town. You want this glue to kind of give it a minute to set for a little bit to get tacky. You don't want it to be soaping wet. Otherwise what you put on your face will slide down. So it worked out nicely. I was actually kind of surprised on how well it stayed on. I haven't tried to take it off yet, but I did read that it's very highly suggested that you get the remover that goes with it, or you remove the glue with pure rubbing alcohol. So we'll see. I just had that box that I showed you in the beginning of the video, and I kind of just filled in some areas that I thought looked good and brought it all together. And yeah, there really was no rhyme or reason. I just grabbed what I thought looked good. So I grabbed a handful of jewels because reaching over every time was getting annoying. I found one that I wanted to put in the very center. So it's always best to find your focal point jewel and work around that focal point. So I wanted that big one that I just put on my forehead to be my focal point. I would suggest making sure all of your hairs are tied back as well, because I think I rip out a baby hair here pretty soon because it was driving me crazy. So here's my focal point jewel. Oh, there it goes. Bye-bye. And to stay symmetric, I just do each side together. This part was actually really fun. This is the first time I've ever stuck any larger rhinestones on my face with glue. I have used little tiny rhinestones before, just for like little accent stones for a mermaid look, but surprisingly these plastic stones aren't very heavy. They stay on very well. When I scrunch my forehead, I don't feel like they're gonna pop off. But the next look that I try, I think the stones I have some metal to them, so we'll see if those stay any better. But I definitely do like these plastic ones. They stay on great. They're very lightweight. I wanted my tooth to be gold, but all I had was a silver one, so I figured I would just try out the gold. And I didn't love it, but it looked okay. I wish it was rectangle. If it was rectangular, I'd be super happy. But all I had was circular gold stones. So I tried to kind of like paint around it a little bit to make it more rectangular looking with some gold face paint. But it just wasn't the same. So imagine it if it was a rectangle. But it still worked out just fine. I'm just really picky. So now I'm just kind of dusting on some of that gold from my Makeup Forever Flash palette onto some of the corners of the copper to kind of make everything pop and have a little bit more dimension into it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this tutorial, and please subscribe and share and give it a thumbs up if you like it. Have a happy Halloween, and we shall see you next video. Bye bye.